Hi, this is Christopher Jones with Authentic Leader, and I'm here really with what I call a bonus video. This is something that I've really not shared with anyone else. I mean, I've kind of talked about this on a certain level, but I've not shared this with anyone else. So you're getting some inside scoop about a productivity tool that I use. This tip for leaders, or really anyone who wants to get ahead, is to have a notebook. And it's just simply that. Have a notebook with you. I have a notebook with me at all times. I see far too often where a leader will go to a meeting without anything to write with, anything to write on, and for some reason, it seems like the higher you go up in an organization, the more likely a leader goes to a meeting or has some conversation with someone with absolutely nothing to write with or write on. There's no way you can know ahead of time that you're not going to have anything to write down. I always have a notebook with me. I never know when I'm on a phone call and I need to take a note about something that was discussed, or I happen to have a meeting with someone and they come up with a great idea I want to make sure that I capture, or I actually might have a thought in my mind that I need to add this to my to-do list, so I'll write that down in my notebook as well, or just a conversation or even a quote. Maybe there's a impactful quote that I just simply don't want to forget, and I will write those things down in my notebook. The notebook of choice that I have is actually called a Moleskine, or that's what people call it. It's actually pronounced Moleskine. So you can say that and have people look at you kind of funny. But I just simply love this notebook really for its size and durability. As you can see, the size is terrific for me because it fits in my hand. It's really easy to carry around, and it's very durable too because it's a hard book. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have this hard notebook or something fancy like this. Actually, really, a spiral notebook is perfectly fine. The real key here is that you have a single place that you put all of your notes. You're not putting them all over the place on sticky notes or on a napkin or a scrap piece of paper you happen to see, because what happens is that you're scrounging around. Admit it, if you use one of those systems, there are many times where I can't find the note that I had. Where did I write that again? I can't remember where I wrote it, or where is that sticky note, or did that piece of paper or napkin happen to get thrown away? Simply put it into one place, a single notebook. Now I'll let you in on a few other things that I do in my notebook. So let me show you when I open this up, just for example. Well, one thing I do is when I go to networking events, when I take my badge out, I'll just stick it in here because sometimes it's kind of a good memory. As I'm scrolling through quickly, I can quickly see, oh yeah, that's right. I was actually at Encorepreneur, for example, earlier this week. But what I will do is that when I start off each day, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, but I just put a little squiggly here with 2 dashes, and it's something that draws my attention and really creates a dividing line for starting today. And then to the right of that, I actually put today's date. So as I'm scrolling through and flipping through my notebook, I can quickly identify, when did that activity actually happen. And then whatever the activity is, I actually write a number just because it's the first activity of the day that I'm involved in, draw a circle around it, and then I write what that is. So for example, I had a phone call with my bank yesterday, and that's what I'm looking at here yesterday. So I wrote number 2, wrote the name of the bank, and just drew a line, and that's it. And then as we're talking, there are notes that I need to take or I need to remember, and I just simply jot those down as they go. So when the next activity comes on later in the day, I'll write a 3, right? A 3 and a circle around it, whatever that, a short description of what it is, draw an underline on it, and then what those notes are. Many times as I'm taking notes too, is that there will be some sort of an action that I'll need to take. And if I write that down, I'll just literally put a box right next to it so that when I transfer that into my note-taking application, or I transfer it wherever it needs to be transferred to, I can check that off and I can quickly just skim through and I can see those boxes literally jump out at me, so I can cross them off when I know that I have taken the appropriate action with that note that I've taken. You might say, well, Chris, what happens if I lose that notebook? It could get into anybody's hands. And I'll tell you, I treat mine like a wallet. You just simply don't lose a wallet. And if you do lose wallets, well, apparently it's not that important to you. But this is critically important to me. This is with me all the time. If somehow I were to lose it, I would know within minutes because I would know it's not with me. You get used to that. It creates a habit in you. So just simply do not lose it. One quick little additional tip, if you do happen to have one of these kind of notebooks that has this little kind of rubber band thing that goes behind it, what I'll do is I will put my pen underneath it, I'll slide it up, and then boom, I have it with me, a pen with me at all times. It doesn't flop around, doesn't slide around. So that's an additional quick little hack on your notebook. Whether you use this notebook or any other single place that you write all of your notes, just simply commit to that. And then when you need to go back and find something, you're going to be able to easily leaf through and find all of your notes. Whatever it is you need to find, it's all there because you have it with you at all times. To get more information about topics like these or other topics or events that I'm involved in or things that Authentic Leader does, go to ChristopherRJones.com. In the meantime, bring out high performance in your leadership.